khalid versus TRK, best of 5. This is the first time that I've casted the two playing a series against each other. Very, very difficult one to predict. Khalid, the more active, ranked player. But when it comes to 1v1s, they've actually played a ton against each other, mostly in Middle East tournaments. And I actually don't know if they've ran into each other in a tournament that was casted in English at all. Is this the first time they've been casted in English? It might be. I can't remember. So it's somebody in chat can probably confirm if there's been an English cast of TRK Khalid. Great. Ceiling challenge there by Khalid. He's looking to add another goal to his already 1-0 lead. An equally effective, if not more so, ceiling challenge coming out of TRK, who's got a momentary open net here of tight angle, and he perfectly puts it in off the near post. Yeah, hopefully we've got a mod in here who can do a prediction for this one. Yeah, best of 5, Khalid TRK. This is going to be an absolute monster of a series. Super difficult to call. I think if you asked, 1,000 Rocket League fans at random who wins this, they'd probably say Khalid. Maybe 70%, 80% would say Khalid. But I think those in the know will understand that this is actually a very close match. And TRK, although he doesn't usually rank as high as Khalid in 1v1 when it comes to ones ranked, and his tournament history and Showmatch history isn't as elaborate and as impressive as Khalid's is, he is an absolute demon. If you've watched Appjack's videos, you'll know that he hates playing against TRK in ones. TRK, just super smart player. He could definitely, I think, match Khalid for 1v1 IQ. I really don't expect to see lots of mistakes. And when it comes to mechanics, I think he's a little bit more mechanically diverse than Khalid. So, on paper, I think TRK might have a higher potential ability than even Khalid does. But Khalid is really, really good at just sticking in a game till the very end and sticking in a series till the very end. So you can never count him out. Even if TRK goes ahead by up to 5 goals in a game, you can always expect Khalid to put a fight back. Really good at tempo changes. That's the one thing I've noticed about TRK in the past, or the one criticism I have of TRK in the past, is he does look a little bit vulnerable even in large leads sometimes, and he does look like, his series swing a lot more than Khalid's do. I've never really seen a Khalid series where he looked completely out of it the entire time. He's always got his moments, he's always got his games in there. TRK, I have seen a couple of games in series from him where he just can't get it together. So consistency goes to Khalid. Mechanics, I'd say, goes to TRK. Game sense, I think, is a bit of an even matchup. So this is really just a difficult one to predict across the board. 50-50 matchup for me. Omnis, thanks for the 6-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel to you as well. Really appreciate that. Yeah, be sure to definitely check out the Saudi League this weekend. We've got F16, which is Rawas and Kalir's team. They're playing with Basel, I believe, going up against Falcons. Both teams undefeated so far in the Saudi League. I think that's a qualifier for Gamers Without Borders. They're going to be playing against each other this coming weekend. It's going to be awesome. We've also got EU RLCS coming up this weekend. So Khalid actually lands on TRK there briefly. Stops him from recovering. Prediction ended 50-50. You're joking. Hey, listen. That's the correct prediction. It should be 50-50, but that's really good job by you guys. I don't know if I swung that by talking TRK up or if he had more votes for the early lead here in game number 1. But he definitely deserves half of the vote in my opinion. This is a knife-edge matchup. I've heard Khaled's told me that TRK's beaten him before in Middle East tournaments, but I think Khaled's record 1v1, head-to-head record I should say, it is definitely better from what I know. Because Khaled's been at the top for years now. Coming on, I'd say 2.5 years, Khaled's been absolutely at the very top tier. He was the best player in the world without a shadow of a doubt 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago, I should say. And then, he's stuck around one of the best since then. TRK more recently attained that kind of level. Saudi E-League's the LAN. They decided it to be a qualifier. Yeah, so yeah, it is a LAN. It's super cool. So those of you who caught the Saudi League last weekend, you would have seen Falcons, the full squad. Oh my goodness, what a flick by Khalid. That's ridiculous. That's really good to see as well, because he's been going for a ton of low 50-50s this game, and none of them have worked. So he's changing levels here, going high, and find success straight away. Like I was saying though, if you've noticed, or if you caught the Saudi LAN, it's happening last weekend and this weekend. Falcons are all there in person. You can see them all playing together on stage. TRK in the middle. Ahmad Khalid either side of him. They're putting the young gun in the middle. Here's TRK with a flip reset. Landed it a bit late, doesn't get it over the top of oKhaliD, who is taking his time in the open net. Taking it really wide, but he does sneak it in. 4-4 in game 1. Yeah, Salt Mine 1 oKhaliD definitely untouchable. I agree with that. It was only when we came around to Salt Mine 2 Fusion, that's when Fairy Peak rose to, you know, his best once again, and we had the rise of Joria's, I think, taking the top spot away from oKhaliD. But oKhaliD never really fell out of the top 5 for me. I think he's been top 5 ones player the entire time, and very often, you know, top 2, top 3 in the past 2 years. He's been so consistently up there. Himself, Joria's, Jack, the top 3 for me. Daniel obviously came to a ton of success in that same time frame, post Salt Mine 1 era of 1v1. And First Killer became inactive. Now here's oKhaliD. The early air dribble. He didn't realize TRK's challenge was coming in that fast though, but TRK's missed the open net. Didn't have a ton of boost to work with, but still, open net miss from distance. oKhaliD shrugs off the back wall bump. He's not going to have boost to play with in the back corner here. He dodges another back wall demo. TRK going to pick up another boost steal on spawn. oKhaliD's activity is excellent as ever. Just not giving TRK any free space on the ball. That will buy him time to grab 100 boost at mid after having both of his stolen. Air double defense looking good for both players. oKhaliD actually gets the boost by jumping over the top of TRK, who was trying to steal it and get demo at the same time. And now another air dribble coming in. This time oKhaliD goes low. He's under TRK, but decides not to flip at the ball because TRK's recovery was excellent. 20 seconds left in the game. oKhaliD going low 2 plays in a row now. Mind game and the low 50. TRK able to respond quite well to them. He's threatening more backwall demos here, but that one he didn't commit anywhere near as much for. And finally oKhaliD gets through him with a 50-50. TRK trying to get there, and he does! And he might have actually scored! You're joking! What a play by TRK! It looked like oKhaliD was going to take it, but TRK straight down the middle of the field with a 0-second goal. That is unreal. What a game 1 from 2 incredibly evenly matched players who know each other so well, not just in the ones arena but just in general, being teammates now for a long time. That looked like oKhaliD had got the win. He got the outside edge 50-50 to go in his favor, but TRK managed to recover and send the ball into his near post. I bet you oKhaliD is thinking in that position, well, if I just, you know, get the ball in front of the net, TRK's forced to own goal, or he's forced to just lose control of his car when he flips into this. But it was actually TRK who recovered the faster of the 2 players. Credit to him. Ridiculous stuff with the recoveries in the tail end of game 1 there. oKhaliD going to start off with a big push kickoff, 1-0. Let's see if TRK blocks that one for the second kickoff of the game. He's going to play for the wave dash recovery. He doesn't get a good bump onto oKhaliD though. That actually just helps oKhaliD into the back corner where he wanted to be anyway. oKhaliD, as always, just glued to the back of the ball. The amount of times I've seen him just completely absorb an opponent's 50-50 and be stuck to the back end of the ball as if nothing happened. Nobody really does 50-50s like this guy. Still dodges yet another back corner demo. TRK is committed pretty heavily for that strategy at the end of game 1 and now at the start of game 2. oKhaliD continuing to stay very low on his 50-50 game. This one will lead to a goal. Quickly follows it with a demo before TRK can get out of the way. oKhaliD up 2-0 in game 2. TRK just not enough speed there to get away from the demo. Did I get to watch Chronic versus Evo? When was that again? I feel like I have seen it. Wait, was this a... Oh no, is this on Fear's channel? Actually, I didn't see that. If it was Fear's channel recently. TRK skips around oKhaliD, who manages to bump him into a save. What? What on earth are these saves? How is that not a goal for TRK? I've got to save the replay there. Wait a second. How did he save this? Genuinely, I'm confused about how oKhaliD managed that. It looked like a completely undefendable position as now the players both tangle again mid-air and somehow both stay active, stay relevant in the following play. Just 18 boost for oKhaliD. Doesn't use any of it to deflect the ball clear though. That's boost management for you. Knowing that his next boost is going to be stolen, so he better hold on to the 18 he had. Jumps over. Another bump from TRK, who remains pretty frustrated in game number 2. Early challenge from oKhaliD, spotted an opening. And now, he's the one backing TRK up into a corner. TRK with 18 boost. Is he going to preserve that as well as oKhaliD did? Looks like he will. oKhaliD stealing away the mid that TRK was working towards. The bounce dribble started. TRK doesn't want to give oKhaliD another touch on the ball. Successfully dives in and almost snipes the bottom corner. oKhaliD had to land on the post just to save that one. That hindered his recovery. He has kept TRK at bay once again. trk narrowly wins the race to the boost, but he was controlling that engagement the entire time. Flip reset, flick, and it's good. trk finally on the board in game 2 with a perfectly executed flip reset from close range. khalid's actually watching the replay as well here. He probably wants to see, you know, did he really save that one? He got a piece of it, but he only hit it up into the net, not out of the net. Looks like he wanted to see that touch, or wanted to see how exactly trk got a reset, or maybe he just wanted to take a quick 5-second break before the next kickoff. Masterful 50-50 by Khalid. The low shot is not good enough. trk tried to pinch it clear, doesn't go very far. Khalid fakes a shot to back him up, turns around with a 100 boost, and starts his next assault. But trk's boost management is phenomenal. Saving up a ton, and that gave him the momentum that he needed in that challenge. Now trk with the boost advantage. Khalid's got to be careful here. Counter-attack's being threatened. And I think he wisely there shoots high and plays for the boost steal instead of going all in for an unnecessary goal. Any goal, you know, really unnecessary to take a risk for when you already have a lead intact. Now Khalid with no boost. He doesn't want to leave the ball in a dangerous position. Knocked it awkwardly to the side. trk fakes once and then flicks high to tie the game 2-2. Khalid just couldn't read him on that play. Decided to give him a ton of space. Decided to mix up the defense a little bit. We've seen him dive in challenges. We've seen him play for very early and aggressive plays when trk is coming at him in the air, but ground game in the back corner, Khalid decides to back off. And he might regret that because he didn't really provide too much of a fight on that last play. And trk pathing over the small pads. Gets close to Khalid, forces the issue. That's a great bounce for Khalid to work with, though. He knows trk is out of boost, and he beats him to the ball, and he will take the lead once again. This is the exact bounce that Khalid was looking for here. Just nice and high. You're forcing trk to use all of his boost if he goes for this. And even if Khalid doesn't just beat him to the ball, any kind of 50-50 will lead to a ball Khalid can beat trk to. It's always going to be that way. But trk slams a kickoff goal in the top corner. Perfect first touch as well to give him a run up and also just to keep control of the situation. Khalid going for the big kickoff on the inside. trk awkwardly positioned for this one. Mind game for Khalid, but trk is blocking the near post and he's mind gamed so hard that the recovery wouldn't come through. Nice one, says trk in the chat, as he was completely fooled by Khalid on this one. He just tried to block the inevitable shot and it never came through. The first mind game, I think trk reacted to quite well. He had a recovery in the inside of the post to block the follow-up shot. But the panic that ensued, definitely less impressive. Khalid, no boost. After the next kickoff possession play from trk comes through, this is composure from trk. He's trying to work his way into another boost steal, but somehow Khalid knocks the ball away from him. The boost is going to spawn for him now. trk uses that time to open up an angle of the dribble. Low 50-50, the mind game revenge comes through, but the ball doesn't bounce kindly for trk. It just sticks too close to the wall for him to really do anything with. Still, time for trk and patience being shown by the youngster here. He knows how big a 2-game lead is going to be in this kind of series where it's so close. And he does catch Khalid out of position in no man's land. Looks like Khalid is trying to sneak up on trk here, but he didn't realize he was in view the entire time. He never left the side of trk's screen there. What he thought was a surprise challenge or a surprise attack on the ball, actually something trk had full vision of. Now another great position for trk. First touch is heavy. Khalid fakes a ceiling challenge. Flip reset for trk. Shoots low and Khalid completely blocks him. That just wasn't enough from trk that time to put Khalid in an awkward position. So I like the fake ceiling challenge by Khalid. He's gone for a couple of early ceiling challenges, even in the very first game, to kick things off. Aggression in the challenge from Khalid, and he wanted to establish that as the baseline for his challenge game. That's what trk expected. Khalid playing a bit more, I think, a bit more reactively in defense in game number 2. trk forced to concede possession a couple times. Notice there, trk not even playing for the back corner demo anymore. So many failed earlier on. Khalid is just running down the clock here. He could have played for the wall there, but instead plays for the double boost steal because that's completely hindered trk in the next few seconds. It just really shows you the one's IQ of Khalid. Many players would have gone for a wall play there to try and add to their lead. Oh, hold on a second though. You are joking. trk! He's done it again! How did he get a shot off? What an absolute banger. You know, you can't really take anything away from khalid there. I think he played the end game perfectly there. He limited TRK so well, but he underestimated the power shot from the back corner. Now TRK forces khalid to back down. He's going to get khalid to waste a little bit of boost here, but it should still be khalid's possession. And khalid actually threatened the infield counter-attack, so that prevented the boost steal from coming through. Demo's just narrowly being dodged there by TRK. 0-second goal in game 1 to win it. 0-second goal in game 2 to take it into overtime. Now that he's into that overtime, we've got a midfield play. khalid with the ground game once again. What's it going to be? Air dribble bump, connects, and wins for khalid. We've got a tie series, but not without some drama. TRK proven to be the ice man on 0 seconds here. With more work to do, he just couldn't get it done. khalid with a good change up there in OT. Plenty of low 50s, plenty of flicks in this series already. Not many air dribble bumps, and he's definitely well versed at that strategy. We have saved the replay here, so I'll be sure to take a look at this ridiculous save that we saw earlier on this game. If you guys remind me after the series is over. Game 3, pivotal here. Absolutely pivotal. TRK has been clutch, but if he falls behind early in this game, that's the kind of position where I could see his mental becoming a little bit shaky. Like I said, you know, khalid he's got the edge on pretty much anyone. I think only Fairy Peak historically has as much late game ice as khalid does. Those two just proving time and time again that they can produce the goods under immense pressure with everything on the line. TRK is not... I don't think he's a bad player mentally. It's just that khalid is so good at it. He's so good at just getting everything out of his opponent, forcing them into deep water that they're not comfortable in. Oh my. That's a 50-50 though from TRK. He just goes through khalid with a mid-air 50-50. Not many players can say that they've done that. 1-0. Like I said though, so important that he starts strong in this game. Just performance-wise, he can't concede silly goals. That is the number one takeaway here for TRK, I think. No silly goals allowed. You know, if you concede because khalid outplays you, fair enough, but don't give any cheap goals away. You just lost game 2. You know, you can very quickly get deflated after 0-second equalizers that are followed by losses in OT. It can be just as upsetting as it would have been for the other player had you be the one winning it. And just as khalid underestimated TRK's long shot in the last game to send it into overtime, TRK underestimates khalid in the start of game 3. TRK been using that wave dash recovery kickoff very well to keep the kickoffs under control, but he's been bulldozed from a low boost khalid. This is, I think, a very educational challenge from khalid. Doesn't have any boost, just goes for the ball because he's thinking, if I back off here, I've got no boost to make a save and recover quickly to save the follow-up shot. I don't have any way of reacting to what TRK is doing, so I might as well be proactive in defense. And TRK, flip reset, double tap, it's good! 2-2. He is a monster with the mid-air precision plays, using his flip reset for the outplay. He didn't just go for a flip reset for no reason, as we see a lot of players do these days. Just landing an early reset on the ball. That's not no reason, but you guys know what I mean. Revealing your hand early on, showing the opponent that you've got the reset. No, TRK waits until he sees the challenge coming towards him, then he lands the reset, uses it for the outplay. All in the time after seeing the challenge coming towards him. Absolutely ridiculous. Straight kickoff. Going pretty good for khalid here. Hard shot. TRK using a bit too much boost, can't get back for it. If you use that much boost on the kickoff, you need to at least get a somewhat even position. Just 12 left over. Had he had 20, I think he gets back for that. Matchup so far just as close as we'd hoped it would be. TRK decides not to play for the aerial play off the wall, instead off the ground. Dead even 50-50. Both players land near the ball. khalid with the more efficient play. However, when he snuck another shot through, TRK, I think he could have knocked that one into the corner. Bit of a mistake there, if I'm not mistaken. He slowed down briefly, but if he reacted correctly there, I think he could have knocked it into the corner. Still, great shot from khalid. Spotted TRK slowing down, maybe trying to set up a reverse challenge. not having any of it. TRK actually completely out of boost here. Couldn't flip towards the kickoff goal. khalid trying to keep the momentum up since he has no boost to work with. This is the kind of position you never want to be in when you've got no boost. khalid being forced to jump on very low totals, but he's managed to withstand that offensive drive extremely well. Now just a long shot to buy some time. khalid going to close the distance again, threaten a demo. And now he's got 100 boost to defend with. It's just brilliant what he's able to do with low boost. TRK with a flip reset 50. Ties the game once again. The aerial game is starting to become a problem. khalid was handling it pretty well earlier on in the series, but now he's having a nightmare trying to deal with TRK, who went over the top of his aerial challenge with a flip reset double. Now he's gone under him with a flip reset 50-50. Not that the flip reset was needed except for the celebration there. TRK's got so many levels to his aerial game. It's why I pointed out earlier, I think mechanically he's got a more diverse offensive repertoire. He beats khalid to the punch on the turn for 5-4. It's all about that block though. khalid trying to knock the ball up the wall there, trying to waste some time, trying to, well, really buy himself some time to get into the back corner to grab boost. TRK not having it, just immediately blocks the touch, keeps the ball active. Now another aerial play coming through. khalid just goes straight to the ball in that one. He's, I think, had about 50-50 success rate on defending TRK's aerial plays, and that's a good rate of success for the attacker in 1v1, because these days aerial recoveries are so good that if you're scoring half of your aerial goals, then the other ones you're probably not conceding from like you used to back in the day. khalid, the big flick to the top corner, that's going to force TRK into an awkward position, but he handles it wonderfully. Perfect recovery on the inside of the goal there from TRK. Forces khalid back with the fake shot from distance. Another flip reset lands into a 50-50. khalid gets smacked into his own net. He's trying to get close to TRK before TRK can turn. Unable to do so. TRK turns on the spot there. Just bumps khalid off. Yet another boost. Now is the back corner boost going to spawn for khalid? It did. So both players have boosts to work with here. khalid has to say goodbye to his other back corner boost, so as TRK beats him to it. Early reset on the ball. Double for TRK. If the second flick doesn't land, like I mentioned though, he could still recover even after failing the flick on his second reset there. TRK still back to the ball. Like I mentioned, you're probably scoring that a lot of the time if you're TRK, and even if you don't score, you're recovering and you're fine anyway. khalid inside the final minute now, trying to create a scoring angle. He's got TRK completely out of boost. Just 4 left. High shot looks good. khalid snipes it. And we've got another tie game. These two inseparable. 49 seconds to go. We have seen kickoff goals. Both players really going for strong kickoffs here. TRK, the player who's used wave dash recoveries more often, but not all the time. He's kept khalid guessing. Switching from standard to wave dash. Standard to wave dash. khalid just really, all he does is switch which direction he dodges into the ball. It shows how important it is to be comfortable dodging both ways on the kickoff. TRK fakes khalid. Oh, he's gone under him. And that might actually be a misplay from khalid. TRK definitely had him guessing here. But khalid jumped a bit too high. He was trying to just knock the ball into the corner, but he just didn't dodge. I think he realized his mistake as soon as he jumped here. Realized that if he dodges, he's going to miss it. And he couldn't figure out what to do quickly enough. 20 seconds to go. TRK on the road to a 2-1 series lead. khalid straight down the middle at him and goes under with a 50-50. I think it's just in. Oh, khalid turned away from it. What? Did he think it was in? Surely not. TRK with more 0-second drama. khalid might have just thrown away an overtime. I think he did. He can't possibly have thought that that was just rolling in without hitting the post. He must have thought it was posting in. Surely. For him to turn away to grab the boost like this. We have to save the replay. I mean, every game here is save the replay worthy, but what went through khalid's mind here? You know, there's a couple of things that I can think of. Number one, he might have been thinking, that's hitting the post and it's rolling up the wall. That could be what he's expecting. He might be thinking it's just hitting the post and it's going to roll up the back wall, so there's no point trying to rush into that position because it's not going to be scoreable with a post pinch. That might be why he went for the boost. It could be. He could also just be thinking, well, that's going to roll into an awkward position. I'm going to grab the boost and then I'm going to go score it. Not expecting TRK to recover as quickly as he did, but I mean, this is TRK we're talking about. You've got to think khalid knew that TRK was going to be there for this. Very, very peculiar position, and one that khalid will be immediately punished for. TRK up 2-1 in games, and now up 1-0 in game number 4. Can khalid bounce back from this? khalid looking for the quick turn here, realizes TRK is going to back down, so instead of playing down the line, just goes for the more angled approach on the dribble. TRK definitely looking composed at the moment. This is the difference right now. He's been more mechanical, definitely. That, prediction looks pretty good, but the other prediction I made of khalid having probably the more consistent game, not looking too good. As TRK's been incredibly consistent as well. We saw a big mistake from khalid at the end of the last game to go behind, and then another mistake to fail to equalize. And he's in a bit of trouble here. Has to be afraid of the demo in the back corner. He's got a bit of distance though. TRK backs down again. He's giving khalid plenty of chances to come at him because khalid's shooting not good enough at the moment to force TRK to land badly. Now khalid's going to go for something a little bit more extravagant. TRK, the perfect early challenge, sets up another chance for himself. Both players extremely low in boost. khalid reads the crossbar bounce, decides not to go for it, and he's also read TRK's boost total perfectly here. To call the bluff on that one is ridiculous, but TRK still gets to play the ball back into his own half. Still really amazed at that read there from khalid to not panic when TRK is faking a shot from that range. So call the fact that he's on 0 boost is something that's difficult to do when you're watching the game. It's hard to remember how much boost both players have, even though we can see periodically one after another. No way. Whoa! That's a team play. We're gonna get another look at it. TRK just bumped khalid into a save. You can see why they make such good teammates, but he was able to follow up with a good shot to the top corner anyways. 2-0, TRK looking good for the series win against his teammate. And the greatest Middle East Ones player to ever play the game. Now khalid decides to take his time. TRK predicts him perfectly once again. khalid's had plenty of offense in game number 4. TRK stopped almost all of it. Hardly any shots even. TRK's not even letting khalid shoot. And intercepting him so early. A lot of the shots that are in fact on target are not even registered by the game. TRK hiding behind the ball here. khalid flicks high. TRK crossbar pinch. And a brilliant aerial off the backboard there. Surprising khalid with how much distance he was able to get on that one. But the Dazzard raid. Oh, Dazzard, thanks for the raid if that's correct. I just noticed that in chat right now. I don't have that one on my alerts, so sorry about missing that one. Hope you had a good rest of your stream, man. I was enjoying it earlier on. khalid held scoreless in game number 4, but that's about to change. TRK's boost finally runs out, and the goal goes in for the 1-goal difference. He was scoreless for over 3 minutes, but he's only down by 1. What kickoff is it going to be for khalid? Tries to bring it back to the inside, does so. That's a nice bounce for him infield, but the heavy first touch is not what khalid wanted. TRK will be delighted to see khalid lose control of the ball there, because that was a really good position for him. TRK decides to play for the ball instead of the mid boost. That's possession being prioritized by TRK. Quick aerial in defense once again. He's forcing khalid to use a lot of boost here. khalid bumps TRK, tries to get a quick turn on him, but just doesn't have the boost to really get the shots off quickly. TRK is threatening a long shot here. khalid knows that, pops the ball high. That's a really excellent pop by khalid actually. With just over a minute to go, TRK's defense has peaked, and khalid struggling to find a way through. Big 50-50. How's the bounce looking? khalid decides to wait for yet another bounce, and TRK is just running rings around him right now. khalid struggling to keep up. Perfectly timed boost respawn. This might actually be a chance for khalid here. TRK has to back down. He's not got any boost to play with. khalid's ground shot, good enough. Didn't look perfect, wasn't top shelf, but the patience of khalid proves to be sufficient as TRK Just tried to path over one more small boost pad, didn't have time. And with 43 seconds to go, we're tied. Now khalid hooked the last kickoff. What's he going to do? He's going to go for the same strategy this time. 2 wins in a row from khalid with the same kickoff. Is it going to be an air dribble? No, he decides to catch the ball, flick it. khalid playing for the slow breakdown. Boost steal secured. TRK thought about a big flick. Oh, khalid actually just caught him out on the turn. Didn't hit the shot from distance though. But he's tripped TRK on the landing. Shoots first time. Wants the demo, gets it. khalid leads. TRK, he was winning for over 3 minutes. Just got pit maneuvered in the back corner and once again had to watch the ball fly into his net as his boost reached 0. That's the 3rd time in a row this game that khalid has boost starved him and then scored as TRK helplessly watches. 18 seconds left. This is a terrible kickoff for TRK, but khalid decides to let the ball go right to him. Wants 100 boost to defend the next play. He's up early for this. Decides to go back down. TRK reset lands. Another one lands. And the air dribble bump as well. What? What a goal by TRK. That is ridiculous. I swear he's playing with more boost. Where is he getting all this boost from? How is he making these plays? Double reset. Air dribble demo to tie. Late game has belonged to TRK here. Tries to fake the boost grab and then go for the direct goal. khalid actually calls him on it now. He's got 100 to 0. Gets the ball past TRK. TRK critically bumps him out the way. Kickoff, overtime. TRK just 1 goal away from winning it. khalid forces the ball around him to the outside. Can he sneak it past him? No, he can't. And TRK quickly secures back corner boost and possession. This is terrible for khalid. TRK's aerials have been absolutely disgusting, but khalid manages to block this one. Love the kickoff switch up going into OT for khalid, but the shot was lackluster. He's got another chance at it. Wants some air dribble revenge, but TRK stops him short of entering the box. khalid seals mid boost away before heading to his back corner. That's forced TRK to retreat the entire pitch. khalid slowly approaches him. Saw the challenge coming. TRK very blunt with that one. khalid really quick to drop the ball onto the front end of his car. Forces TRK wide with the threat of a demo, but has khalid overextended. TRK shoots from distance. khalid trying to get back. He will, but that was almost the series over. khalid with a chance on the counter now. Can he reach the open net? He goes for it. He's, I think, just missed it though. It's off the post. It's off both posts. And out. TRK survives. And now he's going for the win. 1 flip reset lands. The 50-50 just, I think, goes khalid's way. He manages to take back corner boost control. TRK wants to pinch the ball into open field. He's got no boost to work with here. The recovery's not going to work. TRK goes aggressive in overtime and loses game 4. I don't know what I am watching here. You've got to just take your hats off to both these players. The switch-ups that they're making are so high level. This reminds me of when we saw Appjack versus Jaria's Smug 6 main event, where you could just tell that both players have played each other so many times that they are deliberately trying to play weird just to catch each other off guard, to try and surprise one another. I mean, that pinch there from TRK, not something he'd usually go for, but the reason he's doing it is because he wants to surprise khalid. He's trying to catch khalid moving forward, stuck under the ball, so he can buy himself some time to then recover and grab boost. Didn't work, but you know, he's got to be unconventional if he's going to avoid these boost starves khalid's putting on him. Here we are, game 5, the dream scenario for all the fans. TRK fans, khalid fans, Falcons fans, Rocket League fans alike. I'm sure everybody's quite happy to see game 5 will decide. An unbelievable show match so far. I'm sorry for missing all the alerts. I've been really focused on this this game. I'm sure you guys will forgive me, but I'll make sure to catch up on all the alerts I've missed after this match is over. Let's see the conclusion to one of the best show matches in a while. khalid opens the scoring in game 5. TRK had boost this time, but he didn't expect the rapid acceleration by khalid on the outside edge. Yeah, this is actually ridiculous. The new scriptwriter is doing a great job. You guys liked Chronic versus Daniel the other day. Now khalid TRK also living up to expectations. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. But who's got the game 5 ice? That is the question. TRK actually missed the mid boost as he was trying to set up a wall play here. Just narrowly misses demoing khalid in the back corner. Obviously khalid can see that one coming. He just waited as long as possible before jumping. Fake wall challenge, fake ceiling challenge by khalid. Now the real challenge coming through. TRK somewhat forces it over him, but the ball's gone very high. Didn't bounce off the ceiling. The slow arcing return, taking too long for TRK to work with. Take 2. Off the same wall, khalid once again fakes a ceiling challenge. TRK not falling for it, takes his time, and chips a shot over from close range. He's not falling for khalid's shenanigans. In fact, it's TRK who's faking him off this play. It's a fake ceiling challenge. Fails. TRK's fake shots work wonderfully. 1 goal lead switches sides. khalid plays directly for the mid boost. Not the best first touch by him. He's hoping that would bounce more off the wall. Can't really work too well with that one. He would have had to use a ton of boost just to get something on target there, and probably wouldn't have been something that TRK would have had problems with. Sticking to the ground game. That's where khalid has shone in the last 5 minutes. He's been brilliant at managing the boosts and is out-positioning TRK. This is going to be a tough one to keep out of his net, though. khalid actually just pops it in. This really goes to show why it's sometimes so important to be side on to the play. khalid, completely under the ball, couldn't steer it to the left, couldn't pop it into the bar. All he could do is drop it into his own bottom corner. Second big defensive mistake for khalid in this series. He had another one like this earlier on where he just jumped over the ball. This time he jumps under it. But he's somewhat boost our TRK once again. khalid tries to pinch the ball middle. He's got a boost disadvantage, but plenty of activity. TRK knows where khalid's headed. The flip communicating that for him. The landing on the back of the goal isn't great from khalid, but it's good enough to close the distance. And he works to 50-50 into the corner, exactly as he wanted. TRK hiding behind the ball as he does in so many of his challenges. And khalid knew the challenge was coming because he couldn't see where TRK was. It's always a sign that there is a challenge coming in. And again, khalid just flicks the ball early, not interested in having to predict whether or not TRK really is coming forward for the ball. That's going to be a tough shot to save, actually. khalid has to be careful. He does with composure. Concedes possession again as he secures back corner boost. TRK waiting for the late reset. khalid waiting for the late flick. Both players trying to disguise their intentions for as long as possible. We have got a similar situation to game number 4. 2-goal lead for TRK as we approach the final 2 minutes. Now khalid lunges in. TRK able to see him coming. Both players reading each other's challenges to a ridiculously high level. It shows why they need to be as surprising as possible. TRK catching khalid off guard with that quick turn. khalid still reacts well to it. And we are inside the final 2 minutes now. This is a roundabout when khalid scored his first goal in game 4. Delays the flick. TRK reads him perfectly. khalid trying to trip him up on the landing. Bumps him on the landing as well. TRK completely unbothered. Goes up by 3, and in a series like this, where goals are so hard to come by, where players are reading each other so well, and midfield plays can last minutes, a 3-goal lead is a mountain for khalid to climb. TRK beaten to the back corner. khalid 1 step ahead of that one. Huge hit by TRK to buy himself tons of time. Small boost pads, all he got to work with now. That's better than nothing. He reads yet another low 50-50 setup by khalid. That's 2 in a row. As khalid tries to steal the mid boost away from him. Couldn't get it, but still a great recovery. Multiple power slide landings. Final minute approaching. TRK trying to take down the great khalid. I think one more goal would almost put it into an unrecoverable position, even for a player like khalid. But we're not going to need just one more goal. It's only going to be 2. khalid puts in a perfect challenge and recovers the faster of the 2 players. 59 seconds left. khalid had the better of TRK with the late game kickoffs last time, but this time it's going to be TRK with the better one. khalid trying to run into the corner boost. Couldn't get there. TRK wasting a ton of time here. How is khalid going to dispossess him? He's actually giving TRK space. He wants TRK to advance. He doesn't want TRK in the back corner. He wants him in the midfield so that he can stick a challenge in. That's where the game has gone towards. But TRK wants to actually just stall. He's trying to let the clock win the game for him here. That is such a smart move. He's suddenly in a bit of an awkward position. TRK pre-jumps to save. khalid's close range flick. We're inside the final 30 seconds. khalid needs to pull the trigger quickly. He does, but it's wide. TRK recovers goal side. Blocks the next shot as well. And now he's just going to stick on this ball like glue. Not giving khalid a way to get through him and towards the goal. khalid is going to just need to go for it here. Has to create a shot. Has to score it. This is going to be it. He's got 5 seconds. He needs to score. And it looks like he's got a good line of attack, but he's not got the time. TRK takes it in 5. khalid tried everything here in the last game, but a defensive mishap left him too much to do late in the game. trk comes through against the more experienced player and takes him down in a 5-game thriller. Unbelievable play by both players. GG's. And wow, if every series that they've ever played is like that one, definitely need to run that back at some time. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as I did.